All right, we are here with Tim McGraw on Pure Country. How are you?
I'm doing well. How about you?
I'm good. Are you rested after a very big night at Boots and Hearts?
Almost.
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 Same. That's why my voice, I've been singing Tim McGraw songs way too loudly. That's why I sound like this morning.
They were really loud last night.
It was me.
It was you?
It was me.
Is it your voice I heard?
Yeah, it was me.
That was probably the loudest sing back
Really?
I've had in a long, long time. Yeah, they were great. They knew every word to every song.
And that's not your first time playing at Boots and
No,
Hearts?
no, and it's always fun.
Yeah.
It's one of my favorites to play.
Is there a song that you're always looking forward to, maybe just a little bit more than the other ones?
I think probably any artist would tell you when you get a chance to play new stuff.
Yeah.
It's always fun. So we did, I think, 3 new songs last night. So it's always fun to play the new stuff. I mean, but look, I mean, Real Good Man's always fun to play.
Yeah.
And I never get tired of Live Like You Were Dying, except for that last note where you have to hold it out so long. I kick myself every night for doing that in the studio and having to repeat that every night to hold your breath that long.
You did it though.
I made it. Some nights I don't
it.
make it quite there, but I made it last night.
And it was really cool to watch because you mentioned this before you played Standing Room Only, the new single and the title of the album, that you were hoping that Canadian fans had heard it enough that they would know the words. Were you blown away by it? Because I could see the crowd singing along to it.
Yes, that's the best reaction we've had so far to that song. And they sang every word. They were really into it. And it's fun for me to sing that song. I just love the song so much and love the record so much that and it's still fresh. You know, we've only sang it, 7, 8, 9 times at shows now since it's been out. So
well, I'm glad Canada represented well.
They did well. Yeah.
What is it about this album? Because you've put a lot of records out that are very special to you, but what is it about Standing Room Only that's different than the rest for you?
Well, I think in a lot of ways it sort of encompasses a lot of the sort of styles of music I've done throughout my career. So in a lot of ways it sort of represents musically and sonically a modern version of a lot of the things that I've done before in my career. Sort of a compilation of the types of music that I've done. And there's a lot of life-affirming songs on it, which were something that I think after COVID and everybody trying to get their feet back under them a little bit, that it's one of those records that for me was cathartic. So,
for sure.
So hopefully it'll be that way for other people. I mean, there's some fun stuff on there as well. But and I try this with every album, but I try to create these sort of mini movies with every song. So where as a listener, and I do it, and for me as well, as a listener, you can find a part of your life that puts you in as the lead character in every song. And if you can do that, if you can get people invested emotionally in a record where it feels like it's part of their life, then that's something special. And I'm very grateful when that happens.
That happens to me every time I listen to Standing Room Only. Mama's Porch Light, When I'm Lost and Lonely, it immediately takes me to my parents' farm and I'm like looking at their front porch, which I think is what's so special to you when you release songs like that, because even if you haven't written them, when you can find yourself in the lyrics, that it feels like you did write it.
Absolutely. It's I always start my process writing for every album because I kind of know what I want to do and what sonic, and then I'll write a few songs and think that, all right, I've got it, this is what I want, and then sure enough somebody will send me a song that says exactly what I was trying to say, but so much better, and mine gets tossed away.
That's okay. I'd love to hear the ones that you had sitting there though.
Maybe they'll show up one of these
days.
One day maybe
I feel like
I'll
you
do
probably
one.
have so many just kind of hidden away. Do you ever go back and listen to ones that maybe you wished had have made records but never did?
No, I'm not good at going back.
Going back. Okay.
Yeah, I'm not
That's
good
the whole
at
point
going
of this record. We got to look forward.
I always try to look forward. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I feel like, I think probably every artist says this, but I always feel like my latest project is the best project I've done, and I feel that way about this album. And I feel like if I get to the point to where I make a record and I don't think it's as good as my last one, then maybe it's time to start thinking about, should I be doing this anymore?
Well, you definitely should be doing this for a very, very long time. And this record says that. And I think that was something that I loved so much when I listened to it, is it made me go back to the earlier records that I loved of yours. You know, my first concert ever in country music was in 2007, the Soul to Soul in Toronto with you and Faith. That was like the country concert that made me go, country music, there's just something different and special about it.
That was the one with the big stage in the middle, right? With the lit floor and everything?
I was front row.
Oh, right on.
I was right there.
That was fun. But country, I mean, I'm biased. I love all music. I mean, anything that's good is good, no matter what genre it comes from. But, I'm partial to country music. I love the storytelling. I love the emotion in it and sort of the heart.
For sure. And is it cool that you see in the world we're in now where all these collaborations and crossovers are happening. And it really opened up my eyes last night when I heard you play over and over again, is that you were kind of the guy that started that before it was the cool thing to do.
Well, I don't know if I started it, but it was a lot of fun to do that with Nelly. I mean, I'm proud to say I had a #1 hip hop record, so
Yeah,
that's pretty cool.
that's pretty cool.
Yeah, I like that. And Nelly was a great guy. He was great to work with.
You think you guys will ever work together again?
I'm sure we will somewhere down the road. It's just,
Okay.
it's a matter of the right song
Yeah.
coming along. Yeah.
And I have to ask, because I'm a parent now as to a 3-year-old boy, and it has changed me in so many ways.
Mm-hmm.
What is it about being a parent that you think has maybe changed you as an artist? What's like something that has maybe made you act differently as a country artist?
I don't know. I think there's a separation between the two for sure, but it certainly makes you think more when you're picking music and recording music and about the things that you say. It makes you think a little bit more, and it makes you reflect a little bit more on your life and your kids. A lot of times I'm thinking about my kids' future and how their lives are going to unfold when I'm singing a song, and how this might apply to their life down the road.
What do the girls think of the new album?
They like it.
They do?
They
Okay,
like
good.
it. Yeah. So I got the thumbs up. Yeah.
Okay. So you're going out on the tour with Carly Pearce, standing room only. Is she going to be joining you on stage to sing?
I don't know. We haven't gotten that far down the road yet. But
I'm putting it out there. I think
might
that'd be a
happen.
great
You never
idea.
know. Yeah, you never know. You might have her come out and sing something.
Now, you've brought out a lot of really cool young acts, up-and-coming acts, Alexandra Kay being one of them, who I really love, and I actually got to know her through being out on tour with you, so I thought that was really cool. But was there someone early on in your career that kind of did that for you, that sticks out to you?
Gosh, my first proper tour that I went on as an opening act was Joe Diffie,
Cool.
who I was a huge fan of at the time,
Yeah.
and still am. I'm one of the greatest singers ever in country music. So, and he didn't have to do that because I didn't really have anything going on at the time, and he gave me an opening slot. And Sawyer Brown was one of the first tours I went out on. I got
That's
to
awesome.
open for him, and Dwight Yoakam I went out with for a little while,
Love
which
Dwight Yoakam.
was great. Yeah.
Yep.
So I've had a lot of people be very good to me.
That's awesome. All right, before we go, I want to ask you, because I've had the chance to listen to the new album, and I have a song. It always changes for me as the record's out longer, and I keep listening as to what's my favorite. Hold On To It is at the tippy top for me right now. That one just is, it's such a good reminder in life. But is there one that you are most looking forward to fans hearing?
Oh my gosh, I love them all.
It's like your favorite child. You can't choose it.
I
but
do
I'm gonna
love
force
Hold
you.
On To It.
Okay.
Because, to find an up-tempo song with that kind of message is tough to do sometimes. And that thing just really has a great feel to it, and certainly a great lyric. Beautiful Hurricane is one of my favorites on the record. I co-wrote a song with Lori McKenna and Bob Minner, who's my acoustic player, been with me for 32 years, called
cool.
Nashville, California, LA, Tennessee.
Yes, very cool
So
song.
really like that one. And then, we ended the album with really one of my favorites, and it's called Letter from Heaven. That was written by Lori McKenna. That
It
just
is.
tears me up every time I hear it, or every time I
Anything-
sing it, of course.
Anything Lori McKenna is just
I agree.
absolutely incredible. All right, well, thank you so much for doing this. The album is incredible,
Thank you.
and hopefully we'll get to see you back at Boots and Hearts again sometime.
I hope so. I'll be back. I'll come back next year if they want
Okay,
me.
all right, you guys heard it here. Bring it back. Thank you so much, Tim McGraw on Pure Country.